How's it going, everybody? Henry here, and today I've got four Grant Cardone videos, just some quick tips if you're in sales, especially fitness sales, and I've got some, commentary based with them to kind of help, apply them to fitness, and let's just go ahead and jump right into them.
If you're taking notes, you want to write this down. When value exceeds price, people give money. When value exceeds price, people buy things. Houses are not selling yet in America because the price is still above what is the perceived value. Automobiles in America are selling because value exceeds the price. Right? Blueberries are selling. At some price they'll sell, at some higher price they'll quit selling. It's like, how do I make people want that blueberry, that house, that car, that chiropractic readjustment, the package at the chiropractor?
So what's cool about this is he's talking about the value. So when this pertains to fitness, the way that it can be beneficial is when you're creating the value of what it is that person wants to receive. So a lot of people, when they go into selling a PT package, price is such a big factor that they let it control the conversation. And, flat out when someone asks, like, how much does this cost? You can, of course, give your prices. You want to move past it maybe once or twice in the objections, but you don't want it to derail to where you're just hiding the prices. But you're creating the value because what you're going to present is going to solve their problem. And so what Grant's getting at here is he's talking about, the value, it's all a perception of the person's mind. And saying like 3 times a week personal training is, $300 a month or whatever, the price is one thing, but saving, losing 20 pounds and achieving this result and being fit for your daughter's wedding is $300 a month. It's two different things, so it's the same product, but it's delivering different values or stages of value. And so that's the, what he's trying to bring to the table here is value is all perception, and you have to deliver that value before you go for the close. So there's some excellent points for Grant Cardone here. And let's go ahead and check out the next clip.
Follow up. All the money is in the follow up. It's not in the meet and greet. It's not on the internet. It's in the follow-up. You got a lead. Somebody's interested. How do I follow them up? Now, this is where the financial thing comes back into play because the follow-up is hard. Nobody wants to make that second call, much less the third one or the fourth one or the fifth one. Do you know that 25% of all salespeople make one phone call and quit? 48% never make 2 calls. Most never make the first one. It's crazy. Okay? Most of your sales are closed between the 5th and the 8th call. If you're advertising on the internet, there's a good chance you have to call people 8 to 11 times just to get them on the phone one time to qualify them the first time to see if they're even on the right product. So follow up. The fortunes are in the follow up.
So this one is super powerful, talking about following up. This is a conversation that I have with my salespeople and a lot of the general managers I work with and their salespeople is, follow up and making those contacts. So a lot of times I hear people saying, I don't have anybody to contact. Who are you contacting? And it's crazy to me. It's like you have these lists of people that haven't joined with you. They haven't bought your product. It's like, you're not limited to just following them up once per week or once per, day. Now, I'm not saying call them 20 times a day, but you can call someone in the morning and the night. You can send them a text, email, and a call. You can, really pursue these people and fight for their business. They showed interest in your product, and they may not want it that morning, but we all get those phone calls from, something we gave our phone number to, whether it's a, some kind of online product or we were looking to refinance our home or whatever it is. We gave our phone number. That person's following up with us. We know it's them when we call. That's why we don't answer. We know it's them. We either, named it that or something, and we see it, but eventually that person's going to call at the right time. We've been on the receiving end of this where we, like, oh, you know what, I do need to take this call. I want to refinance my home. And you take it. And it was the person that just kept being persistent in calling that got the sale. And so this is something that's huge. And it's not going to, generate, a ton of business at once, but it's consistent. And it can increase your business by 10, 20, 30%, and that can make a huge difference over time. On the daily, it might be just 1 more sale, but over a month, that could be 30 more sales. Over a year, that could be 300 more sales. It just makes such a difference, doing the hustle work day in and day out. So I'm really glad that Grant narrowed this one down, and it's a difference I see in fitness from people that, you know, are really pushing the boundaries. And, you know, we have ups and downs in our seasons and stuff. So like January, it's really busy. So we have a lot of people just coming in and joining, and you see that the hustle work disappearing. And so if you're watching this video, I definitely challenge you to make sure you're making the same amount of contacts you might make in July when there's not a lot of people coming to join, that you do it in January. And so you can increase your, you know, what you make by 10-15%, you know, just by pushing that extra, you know, phone call out, that extra email. You know, Grant drives that one home here, and I really like that. So let's check out the next tip.
Anybody here got a company open today? Your company's open today? Okay. What's your company? What is it? You're in London, or are you here? Okay. Are they there today?
Yeah, they should be.
Call them for me. I want to talk to them.
Alex speaking.
Yeah. Hey, Alex, how you doing, man?
Hiya. Okay, good.
Good. Alex, I can barely hear you though. Can you talk up? Hey.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yes.
Hey, what's the most amount of money I can spend with you on a membership?
The most amount of money. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Have you been to the gym before?
What's that matter?
Sorry.
I'm going to pause this one right here before we go all the way through. So I'm glad that this one happens to be Grant calling a gym business, because that's what we're talking about, gym business here. And he's obviously asking a really ridiculous question. You know, I've been doing this for 6 years. I've never had anybody call and ask, you know, how much can you spend there? But the point isn't, you know, the ridiculous question about the money. It's the person isn't listening, right? So in sales, you're a problem solver. Now, your solution is a product you sell. So if you're in fitness, you know, that's what you have to offer. So this person that's on the phone isn't listening to the problem. So I'm going to back it up and listen to it with that in mind. So think, okay, this is your business, you own the gym, and this is a prospect calling, and our mission is to solve their problem, get them in the door so we can solve the problem. So with that in mind, forget that it's a ridiculous question. See how off this is, and I guarantee you've made the same mistake, or your sales team is making the same mistake. So I'm going to rewind this here, and let's check this out again.
What's the most amount of money I can spend with you on a membership? I can barely hear you though. Can you talk up? Hey.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yes.
Hey, what's the most amount of money I can spend with you on a membership?
The most amount of money. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Have you been to the gym before?
What's that matter?
Sorry. So if we can show you what we've got at the facility, are you local?
Yeah. But I mean, all I want to know is what's the most amount of money I can spend with you?
You can spend as much as you like.
But how much would that be?
So our memberships start from £29 a month, and our top package is $69.99 per month at the moment. There is a special offer on them. It all depends on, obviously, what days and what times you'd like to come and what you'd like to get out of the gym.
Okay, hey, thanks a lot.
All right, take care.
All right, so, you know, that one, again, like I was saying, the person on the phone, the salesperson, just really was thrown off so bad by that question. And the first thing you can notice is that he didn't have control from the beginning. So when Grant called, if you had control of the conversation, you would say something like, you know, thank you for calling Gold's Gym. This is Henry. You know, how may I help you today? And then he hit him with, you know, what's the most amount of money I can spend there today? And it just threw him off. You know, so for me, if someone said that, I would say, oh, great question. Thank you for asking. Real quick, can I have your name and number in case we get disconnected? Just trying to get that information first, you know, because clearly this is going to be someone that's going to be, you know, pretty deliberate and tough in their phone call. But, you know, if you got the information, great. If you didn't, if he's like, look, dude, I just want to know how much I can spend here. You say, well, the max amount you can spend, and just answer the question and then move on. You know, people are like afraid to give the price over the phone like it's some secret. You know, if your value is there, then the price shouldn't matter. You know, and if someone is only wanting that one question, just give them the answer and then take back control. You know, say the most amount you can spend here is $4,000 today. You know, what made you make that phone call? And go right back into taking, you know, back of control. But don't be afraid to give the price over the phone. You know, this isn't the, you know, 80s or 70s or 90s, whenever people like, you know, were trying to just, I don't know what you're thinking by not giving a price, but your price shouldn't be that bad that you're afraid to say it. So that's all I have to say on that one. Let's check out this last one.
Tweeting, if you're doing anything on Twitter, just understand what I just told you will change your life forever. Price is a myth. Any price someone pays is too much. And any price you get is too little. No one gives you a price because they think it's worth that price. If they offered me $16 million for my house, they believe it is worth more than $16 million. So Lunch the Bayou, Bowie says, ABC, always be closing. But the reality is most people can't ABC. They can't always be closing because you don't have the closing material. You need closing material, and you need to understand that people get hung up on price. They're obsessed and compulsive about price. How much is it? That's how people think they justify or make sense of value. And that's how they negotiate. They negotiate on price when in most cases price is not the most critical issue. So I'm going to give you one more piece that you need to understand. If you can get this piece wrapped around your head, two things I want you to understand. Price is a myth because all numbers are made up, including the first numbers. 0 was made up. 1 was made up. 2 was made up. 10,000 was made up.
That's an excellent one to finish. It kind of goes back home to what we were originally talking about there, but the price being a myth. You know, don't be afraid of the numbers, and the value is all created in the person's mind, and nothing is more important to the person that's the prospective buyer than what they want to accomplish, whether it's, you know, to feel a certain way, to look a certain way, to achieve a certain status. That's what's most important to them. So you have to solve that problem, and price will never be an issue. They will figure out a way to pay for it if they can't pay for it. So don't think just because something's priced $100 that's worth $100. You know, it's only worth $100 if it's worth it to the person that's going to pay for it. So that's the number one thing. So hope you like this video. You know, Grant Cardone has some really good stuff. He has a lot of stuff on car sales, home sales. You know, I haven't really seen much on fitness, but his stuff is, you know, you can easily apply it to anything. So I appreciate him for, you know, making these videos, allowing me to share them and comment on them. You know, I'll put a link to his YouTube channel. If you don't know who he is, check him out. He's got some really good stuff. Hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.